So when you're talking about things that you dislike, please ensure that it is followed with suggestions that the company can use to improve. Hey, hi everyone, my name is Debayan and I currently lead the InsideIIM community. Folks, as you would know that all the major IIMs and other SPJIMR and all the other campuses have started to release their interview calls. Big congratulations to everyone who has received the interview call. Right now, it's your time to give in your 100% to prepare for the interview and convert that call. One of the best ways to prepare would be to check the kind of questions that were asked to your seniors in the previous years. You will find a plethora of content readily available online and also on InsideIIM. So in this video, I am going to talk about the most commonly asked questions in MBA interviews. And for your benefit, what I have done is I have bifurcated this into 3 different parts. One is the general questions that are asked to candidates. The second is questions based on academics. And the third one is for candidates with prior work experience. So let's get to the general questions part. In any typical MBA interview, the first question that you can expect is, tell me about yourself. So pro tip for you is, please do not make it unnecessarily long. Please do not talk about anything that is negative on your profile. If you have a gap year, no need to mention that while you're introducing yourself. If you have poor academics, please do not mention. Rather than focus on your strength, play with your strength, right? And make it as crisp as possible. The second question that you may expect is the question on why MBA. So here you need to be thorough with your short-term and long-term goals. Please do not say things like, I want to get better placements, could not do XYZ things, that's why I want to get to an MBA and want to get to ABC companies. Rather focus on the domain that you would like to get into, focus on the industry that you might want to work in, try to connect that with a past work experience, and if you're a fresher, then your internship or something that you did in your undergraduate. The panel can ask you questions to understand more about you. The questions can revolve around your strengths and weaknesses. Here, please do not come up with immature answers for your weaknesses. Please also mention why do you think it's a weakness and what are you doing to work on that. Up next, you can be asked about your hobbies. So once you mention a hobby, ensure that you know about it end to end. So it can be about famous personalities. When you're mentioning your failure, please ensure that you also put the point at what you have learned from the failure and how are you going to work towards that. For people who have uncommon names, you may be asked the meaning of your name. You can be asked about some specific skill sets that you want to learn during the 2 years at an MBA. And then you can also be asked that why should the panel select you / reject you. So please prepare for these questions thoroughly. So now before we get to the section around the questions that you can be asked based on your academics, the small plug from my side. At InsideIIM, we have just launched the 4th edition of our MBA admissions bootcamp. In the last 3 years, we have helped 241 students make it to their dream B school, which includes the likes of IIM, Blackie, FMS, Auxiliary, SPJIMR, MICA, NMIMS, SIBM Pune, SCMHRD, and all the top campuses in the country. In case you think that we can work together and help you convert your dream B school call, please check the link in the description and in the comments. So the first question that you can expect is that why did you go for this course? And especially if you are an engineer, because the follow-up question will be around then why aren't you going for an MTech or an MS degree instead of an MBA? So please prepare for that very well. Connect that with your work experience if you have work experience, or otherwise you can talk about your achievements or any other internship etc. in your college that made you interested in education in management. Then you can be asked about your key takeaways and achievements during your undergraduate. So here, please talk about your papers, projects that you may have published, and talk about your PORs. If you have been in the placement cell, talk about the number of people you placed in the batch. If you are in the media committee, talk about the initiatives that you had taken. If you were in the part of any cultural committee, please talk about that and just don't give sentences. Also, talk about the impact, the success of the work that you had done. And now, if you are someone with poor academics, then for sure you are going to be grilled on that. So there's no way to lie about that I was unwell, I had this problem or that. If it's genuine, please talk about that, but don't cook up stories around that. You can be very honest about that and give the honest reason to the panel. So this is for people who have less than 24 months of work experience. Ensure that you're thorough with at least your core subjects in your undergraduation. Now, I don't want to make it boring and talk about every question that can be asked based on your UG course. What you need to do is just put down your UG discipline in the comments, and I'm going to reply with the questions that you can expect in the interviews. The next part is for people with work experience. So you can be asked questions such as, describe a typical day at work. Then what is your KRA, explain your roles and responsibilities. Also try to in a very sly way or in a very free-flowing conversation, also try to mention the achievements that you have. You can be asked questions such as, how would your boss describe you? Then why do you suddenly want to quit this job and go for an MBA? Tell us 3 things that you like about the company and 3 things that you dislike about the company. So when you're talking about things that you dislike, please ensure that it is followed with suggestions that the company can use to improve and not just blanket statements. Make sure that you know what is happening in your industry. The smart way to research about your industry is to just search the industry that you're currently working in, followed by McKinsey or BCG or any of the top consulting company report, followed by the year. It will give you a detailed insight into what is happening in your industry, what are consultants talking, what is research saying about your industry. So make sure that you do that. You should know about your competitors. Who are your competitors? How are you better than your competitors, or how are the competitors better than you? Please do a thorough research of that. Now, if you're someone with gap year, please explain to the panel why you had taken a gap year. But do not just say, I wanted to prepare for CAT, that's why I took a gap year, I did not do anything else. Because the counter question will be that there are hundreds of others who scored more than you maybe, who had a job, who prepared alongside a job. So ensure that you just don't say that, I was only preparing for CAT. Then, and if you have switched too many jobs in the last 2 years or 1 year, so have a logical explanation for that why did you switch too many jobs, because a counter question will come that after you graduate from the campus, the first job you get, then also you'll keep on switching jobs, right? So ensure that these answers are thoroughly prepared. Thank you so much for listening to this video. So as I said, if you can put down your UG discipline as a comment, I'll reply with with the questions that you can expect in your interviews. And once again, in case you're looking for a WAT-PI program to convert your best B school call, do check out InsideIIM's WAT-PI program. We have a stellar 96% success rate over the last 3 years, and we'll be more than happy to work with you. Okay, all the best.